Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Mission More Money, and thank you for clicking on this video. I wanted to do a really quick Shopify tutorial on how to start shipping internationally. This was very intimidating to me in the beginning, but it is actually a lot easier than it seems and a lot less intimidating than it really seems. It's actually pretty simple and easy, so let's go ahead and get started on the tutorial. I hope you find this helpful. Like and subscribe. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I always like to show you how to get to the screen I am on. So from your admin, you will just go to settings and then to markets. And as you can see right now, I do not have anything international set up. The first step that we need to take is setting up for an international market. In the example that I'm going to be doing today, I am setting up for North and South America. That is the regions and market that I want to set up for my store. And I'm gonna go ahead and title this market really quick so I know which markets that this is in reference to. Each country is in alphabetical order, and it is also categorized by the continent on which the country is located, which makes it a lot nicer for going through and selecting and creating your market, which I'm just doing very quickly here. Once you are done selecting, you just click on Add Market, and we will jump over to Shipping and Delivery and select General for domestic and international. From this page, we want to create zone. The only countries that will appear here are the countries that you have already added to a market. So it is important to make sure that you have done that first before coming here to set up the shipping and delivery. Now that I have created a zone on the same page, I'm going to scroll down and make sure that I save my progress. As you can see, there is a warning that comes up that says there are no rates and customers in this zone won't be able to complete checkout. So let's select add rate. All of these options that are given here are of course up to your discretion, what your capabilities are, what you want to do with your store, which countries you want to market to, all of the above. I am choosing to use a carrier to calculate the fees that they will be responsible for paying in order to have the item shipped to their country. And I'm going to select DHL as the carrier because DHL specializes in international shipping. Generally recommend adding a flat amount for the handling fee because this will help you to cover costs for shipping materials. Forgot to make my selection here, so you'll just want to make sure that you do have worldwide under Shopify shipping services selected because otherwise it won't let you proceed. That is how you set up international shipping. So now let's move on to languages so that our customers can shop conveniently and comfortably. Okay, so while editing this tutorial, I noticed that there was a caution sign that said that markets had not been activated, and I completely missed demonstrating to you how to do that. So here from my mobile, I'm showing you, you'll just go to settings and then to markets. Both of my regions are shown as under active, but previously there would have been a box that said inactive for North and South America. So you'll want to select that region, and then in the corner where it says active, it would say inactive, of course, and you just put it to active. Here we are at the languages tab underneath settings. So from here, we will go to add language. I am going to be adding Portuguese because for my North and South American regions, obviously Brazil has a large population and they speak Portuguese. Now, as you can see by the instructions highlighted in blue, we need to translate our store into Portuguese and then publish the language. So let's do that now. Under Unpublished Languages, we go to Translate and Adapt. On the left-hand side is a list of everything that can be translated. So I selected Auto Translate, and then we will select Translate again. So what is happening here is that they're working on the translation and it emails you once it is complete. Just FYI, you can unpublish and preview languages that you've translated. So the Shopify Translate and Adapt app only allows for you to translate 2 different languages, which I have already done at this point. I chose Spanish and Portuguese. So when I'm trying to select French here, because that's another common language across North and South America, it tells me that I have reached my limit. And because I really want all of my customers to have a convenient and comfortable experience shopping in their own language, I went in search of another free app that also translates. And don't worry, I'm going to go through that as well. This is Weglot, a free translation app that is compatible with Shopify. So I'm just going to go ahead and install this here, and then I will be able to access it through admin. I have it installed to my store now, which you can see on the left-hand side under apps, and I am going for French. So that is the language that I will select here and then proceed. On the following page, I'm going to select check activation. All good to go. So let's continue. Then go to settings page. This page right here will essentially be your home base while you're using this app. Now, when I initially installed this app, I thought, okay, great, I just go back to languages and then now I can translate French. But if you see here, when you go to publish, it tells you that you do not have any apps installed to translate the language. So then we go back to our app and we select manage under auto redirection. You'll sign into Weglot, and after you go through the first 3 steps that it'll walk you through, you will then land on add Weglot to your website. We'll copy the code that they give you here and follow the instructions, which I'm gonna just go ahead and show you. From the themes page under your online store, you will select the 3 dots next to customize and then edit code. On the left-hand side, select Theme Liquid. Where you see the number 3 and the word head, that is where you will want to make space to paste the code that you copied from the website, and then of course hit save. Then we can select Preview Store to make sure it is translating correctly for our customers. Down here in the right-hand corner is where your customers can choose to have the store translated into French or whatever language that you had indicated in your Weglot app. Now in the top right corner is where the translations appear that were a part of the Translate and Adapt app from Shopify. I do agree that that is a little bit confusing for customers potentially, but honestly it is better than them just not having a language option, period. And I also wanted to make sure you could see that even when you go back, because it's using the Shopify app, it's still going to say that French is unpublished, but I have shown you that it is not. If we go back to our Weglot app, it shows us that our setup is complete and that English has been translated to French. Next up, let's talk about customs. I'm going to show you 2 different ways in which you can add HS codes, otherwise known as harmonized system codes. Adding these codes to your international shipments can help them avoid being held up in customs. Let's go ahead and get started with the first example. So under products, you will select one of your products to add an HS code. And you'll want to scroll almost all the way down to the bottom. Under shipping, it says add customs information. Under country and region, select the nation in which you are sending out shipments. In this example, I also wanted to show you what not to do. So if you come here and you start to just type what your product is, nothing is going to come up. So I tried typing tumbler and stainless steel because it's made of stainless steel, and first option, I didn't get anything. And then with stainless steel, I just thought it all looked so confusing and I didn't know which one would apply. You can try to look up your HS code by going to census.gov and looking through the Schedule B list of codes. However, when I did this, it looked extremely convoluted and it wasn't obvious to me still which code was going to apply to my product. Trying to go through this list proved to be very time consuming and also just very difficult. So, hate it or love it, I use the power of Google. As you can see here from my search, what is the HS code for a tumbler? It brought up that there are different types of tumblers, and I found the one that is most like the tumblers that I ship out. I copied the code and then went back to my product and entered it under Harmonized System Code, which you can see it does pull up to match. It is important for me to also point out here that as I was looking through this information about HS codes, it is possible that multiple HS codes can apply to your product because products are typically made of so many different elements. However, that doesn't mean that you have to add multiple HS codes to your product. You just need one that fits. All of this information is publicly available. Second method is selecting all products and then going to bulk edit. On the next page, select columns and then scroll down until you find harmonized system codes under shipping. Mine is already selected because this is something that I was already working on. So you'll just want to make sure that you click the box and then scroll over to the right, and then you will find the harmonized system codes where you can do a bulk edit. You're going to see me go through here really quickly and just making sure that all of my tumbler products have the same HS code. Next, let's prepare an international shipment through Shippo. For this example, I'm doing a completely made up order, so it's not going to import automatically from Shopify to Shippo. I have to enter this information manually. Keep that in mind as we go through here. A lot of what I'm having to enter manually, you shouldn't have to do if you already have your Shippo connected to your Shopify and are importing your orders. Knowing how international addresses are supposed to be correctly written can be challenging, so it's nice that Shippo has a suggested address that pops up, which is formatted to how that country writes out their addresses. With that being said, you shouldn't need to worry about it as long as you are importing your orders from Shopify, because the customer should of course know how their address is written and should do it correctly. But funny enough, people mess up their own address all the time. So here is where the fun will really begin. We are going to be making sure that all of the details under here are in correctly, so let's hit Edit Customs. If the country that your shipment is delivered to asks for a customs charge, you can select for it to either be billed to the recipient or billed to you, the sender. This box right here only pertains to those who are certified exporters. And then the box right next to it is for certified importers. I am neither of those. For non-delivery handling, this is up to you. You can choose to have it returned to sender, which would be you, or for it to be abandoned. According to the International Trade Administration, 95% of exports from the United States do not need a license, so I won't be worrying about that. The certificate box is optional, and for here, I am not going to be shipping anything to the European Union. Sorry about the in-your-face stickers that pop up here and there. I do it for privacy reasons. The bottom part of this form is meant only for going to the European Union, which I'm not doing, so I will select Save. Now you will want to scroll down and select Add Customs Item. The top part of this box is pretty self-explanatory. You want to enter a description of your product, the quantity, weight, value, and country of origin. ECCN stands for Export Control Classification Number. You can read more about this and the materials that are required to have a license for export by going to the U.S. Bureau of Industry and Security website. The bottom paragraph indicates that if your item does not show on the CCL, it is designated an EAR 99, which are the majority of commercial products. When it comes to package dimensions, it is business as usual. You are just putting in the length, width, and height of your package. You are responsible for indicating if your shipment has alcohol, dry ice, or lithium batteries or hazardous material. My shipment does not contain any of those, so I'm going to click Save, and I am done here with this page. Deciding to require a signature upon delivery is up to you. I think that this is something that generally just offers another layer of protection for both you and the consumer. But I am speaking from a United States perspective. Now you can go ahead and browse through rates just as we did in my other shipping tutorial through Shippo for domestic orders. You can browse through here and it gives you different options. You'll also want to consider whatever it is, of course, that the customer has paid for and asked for. Once you select your option, you can click buy and then print out the label, and you're set to go to the post office or wherever it is that you picked for your servicer to be. And that now concludes this tutorial. I really hope that this helped you to feel less intimidated when it comes to international shipping. Best of luck to you in your e-commerce store and reaching an international market. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.